You want to upgrade your GPU or have other parts you want to upgrade, but you're not sure that your CPU is gonna be able to withstand all that power. You're gonna see in this video how you can upgrade your power supply. Stay with us. Now we're gonna start by reviewing this power supply and unboxing it. Before starting the unboxing of the power supply, I want to first talk about the film that we have here outside of the box. I mean, some products do come with the film, but it's only to protect it from scratches or anything. But the power supply comes with a film, especially for something very precise, which is the dust. Yes, because power supplies can be very much affected by the dust, so they protect it with this film so that it does not receive any dust in the way away from or in the shipping or storage or anything until it arrives for you and you can install it very cleanly and as a new product. We have here ENERMAX Power, Innovation and Design. This is the revobron edition 2, not the edition 1. We have the 700 watt power supply. It's 18 plus bronze. 18 plus bronze, for those who does not know what does it mean, is that its efficiency is more than 18% minimum. Like, it would never go under 18%. So it's 700 watt, it would not go under 18% of that 700. Here we have the specifications of the outputs of this power supply. And from this side we have some specifications of its qualities. It is 18 plus bronze, as we said before. It has electrolytic capacitors which can withstand up to 105 degrees. They are Japanese made. Twister bearing fans, which gives it a very long life for the fan. It's 115,000 hour, and just free rotation is one of the options of this fan. We're gonna talk about it a bit later on. And from here we have the kind of cables that we're gonna find inside this box. This 24 pin is for the motherboard. This one is for the CPU. It's an 8 pin, a 4+4 pin. You put the 4 and 4 behind one behind the other and you plug them together. And we have here the PCI Express 8 pins, a 6-1 and then a 2-1. SATA cables, which are used to power up hard drives or SSDs or the disk drives like CD or DVD, and some other things like coolers, some IOs. Here the pump has a SATA cable, or RGB fans like the square RGB fans have a SATA power cable. And here the MOL X4P is used for fans. It's used to power up the fans, and as well as this FTD adapter. They both are for the fans, if I'm not wrong. So we now go to the back. We now talk about the 18 bronze again. So as I said, here, as we said, as you can see, it will never go under 18%. Here's the 18%, it does not go under it, and this is the one we're using. It's the 18 plus bronze. Another feature is the Japanese caps, or yes, as we said before, it withstands up to 105 degrees. It ensures a higher efficiency and everything. It has a safeguard, so with a power supply like this, you would never be afraid of losing one of your components or have your motherboard or GPU fried. Twister bearings is a technology that's been used for these fans, so they can live up to 160,000 hours. So as I said before, this fan will never stop on you, and so this power supply will live forever. This has a touch-free rotation. This is what I was gonna say. This is what I said I will tell you later on. So the fans of this, the fan of this power supply rotates in the other direction for 10 seconds. So what this does is it gets all the dust stuck in the fan out, and it gets all the dust inside the power supply out. So it's auto cleaning kind of technology. We now move to the unboxing. We open it up like this very smoothly, and we open it up. Please, and we open it up like this. So it has a manual which is written in a lot of languages. The power cord. Not everyone will be using all their available cables. So if you're not gonna be using one of the cables, what are you gonna need to do is that plug it like this. It's like a VGA or HDMI cable inside the GPU. You close it so that the dust doesn't enter. So they made everything so that the dust does not enter in the power supply, which is very amazing, and I like this feature very much. Here we have the cables, because this is not a fully modular power supply. It's a semi-modular. The 24 pin is plugged to the motherboard, but the other pins are here inside this bag. We're gonna see them one by one later on. Here we have these ENERMAX. These are for the cable management. You plug the cable on with it. Later on we're gonna see that. And here we have the power supply itself. It's very well packed. Check. So these power supplies, I forgot to say it earlier, it automatically changes from 250 volts, 240 volts to 110 volts automatically without anything. You don't need any other switch to do that change. It does it very automatically and without losing any efficiency. Here are some other informations about the power supply, and this is the back side of the power supply. Here we have the 8 pins of the GPU, the HDD and other things, the SATA power. Now, to replace the power supply, we're first gonna need to remove the old one, and if you're looking to see how we directly install a new one, then you can jump this part, but it will be an interesting one, so you may want to stick in. So, the first thing we're gonna do is remove the 24 pin. It has a click here, I don't know if you can see it, that we must click to remove. We're gonna see that in the installation process. Anyway, that's the click that you're gonna need to push, and then you have to pull. So this is the click I was talking about. As you can see, you push it from here and you pull. Very easy. Now, for the other cables, we're not gonna remove everything. We're just gonna remove what we have plugged to the power supply so that we can remove it. We have another cable here, the motherboard cable, the CPU. We have another cable here, which is the CPU cable, CPU power cable. We take it off. We have here the PCI Express cable, or the VGA cable, PCI Express. We remove it. So for this one, we're gonna want to put it back from where it came, so it will be easier to remove it on later on. This one too, we're gonna put it like this, so we can remove it very easily, as well as this one. this is all we have from this side. I had a driver, but it's not plugged. It should have a SATA cable here, but it's not plugged, so we don't have it here. Now we go to the other side. From this side, we continue to remove this guy. We have this one, the CPU power. Was it? I think yes. And here I have my SATA cable. I have some fan cables here that we're gonna need to remove, like this one. You just remove it and that's alright. Another fan cable that I will need to remove. Now, as I said, I won't be removing everything. I will just be removing what is connected to the motherboard. And we'll need to untie everything as it's very tight together for cable management. But now we don't need that anymore. We're gonna have to remove everything and then do a second cable management. So let us take off everything. We need to untie all the cables that are connected to the power supply. Not everything, just what's connected to the power supply. We remove it very simply, like this. First cable, second cable. Now our hard drives are unplugged. Once our hard drives are uninstalled, this one is freed, this on the other one too. This is the power supply, now completely plugged off, and her cables. Oops, I almost did that. Okay, so these are the only 4 screws that are holding the power supply. So let us take them off. If you have your computer facing the front side to the floor, you may want to keep your hand under the power supply because it may fall after we remove all the screws. So just to make sure that doesn't happen. The power supply comes down on its own like this. Look how dirty it is. Now, another very important thing to do is about the old power supply that we have just taken off. So what we need to do is that we clean it off. What I did here is that I used the hair dryer to take off all the dust, and then I cleaned it with a wet sheet and then once again with a dry sheet to take off all the dust. Since it's a still working power supply and this one is 500 watts, so it's not that bad. It can be very used everywhere and in any normal setup that doesn't have that much of power. This one is a simple film from the kitchen that you can use very easily. So the point is that this film will protect it from the dust. As we said, it will take the place of the old film that it has when it was a new power supply. Now, as you can see, it's very well packed. Now we pass to the power supply installation, which is very easy. I know that you noticed that I changed the case. I'm not doing it in the same case because the old case was an old model, and now it's not the same when we install the case, because most of the modern ones have a case shroud like this one, and if it does not, it's even easier to do the installation. You take your power supply, the fan must be facing the downside of the case like this, so that the air comes in and goes out directly, and we have this power thing that must be facing the outside of the case, of course, to be able to plug the power cord in it. And that's it. If you have these two things aligned up, everything is done for you and it's ready. So what you do is you take your power supply, you put it inside that hole or that case shroud, the dedicated place for a case for the power supply shroud. Like this, it enters without any problem. You just put it like this, and here your job is done. Now you come from this side, we align the holes. The first thing we're gonna need to do is that we need to place one, just one. If we install one, and then everything will be very easy afterwards. So I chose this one. The better it's installed, the more noiseless it will be, so be sure to install it very well and not leave any space, and tighten the screws as much as possible. Starting by installing the cables, the back one, and then we'll go to the front. The first cables we're gonna be plugging are the Sata cables. So to plug a Sata cable is very easy. You take your Sata cable like this one, it's the power for the RGB LEDs. It has an L, look here. You see this L-shaped form? Well, you just follow it to plug it. It's like playing a Lego game. You come here, you see your L, you follow the L, and that's it. So what we do, we follow the L, and that's it. Same thing here, following the L, and that's it. And same thing here, we just simply follow the L, and we are done. Now all you need to do is some cable management. It's not tricky, not anything. You just need to do some cable management thing like this. Yes. Very easy, and helps with making everything more aesthetic, especially the back. You would connect this small legs here to here very easily. And for the top fans, I did not use under pump or the CPU cooler. I installed directly connected it to the motherboard. So for the back here we are done. We just put all our cables inside the power supply shroud. Just push it like this, no one's gonna ever see it, so no problem. Now for the 24 pin, we put it like this. We slide it to the other side. Him and the 7 and the 8 pin for the CPU power. For the CPU power, I passed it from this side, directly getting it here. So I did some cable management while the camera was off. Well, nothing very important, just passing the cable. You can get it passing directly like this. It's not a problem, it's just as I said, for cable management purposes. From here, what we do is we have our VGA power. I know this is a weird order that I'm following, because I'm not really following an order. The order would be to connect the motherboard and then the CPU power, but no big deal. So the CPU, the VGA cable, my VGA only needs, as you see, 6 pins. So I put it like this and I connect it. Now to connect the 6 pins of the VGA card, as you see, it has a square side and a curved side. Square side or linear side, and then a curved side. Square side, curved side, and then we have the plug here. This plug, which has also its place here. So yes, it's very hard to get it wrong. It's very easy to install and very simple and basic. So you just put it like this and push until you hear your click. Now this cable don't have a place here. This one too. To connect it, you see this side here. The clicky here, clicky clock. The clicky clock goes to the clicky clock here. So it should go like this. Clicky clock, clicky clock. Very well, it's connected, and now all we have left is our CPU connector. It would have been easier if my CPU connector was installed at first, but then I would not have been able to show you how to install the cooler and other parts. My motherboard only needs 4 pins, not 8, but it's not a problem. I can directly connect it. So whether your motherboard has 8 or 4, you can simply connect it, and as you see, it connects very well and with not any problem. So now we are done with installing the cabling. All we need to do is turn on the PC and enjoy the view. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel to never miss any other of my next videos. Also, you subscribe to my Instagram, we're now at 20k, it's Daily GTech and everything is down there in the description box.